for the German Darts Masters and the culmination of the tournament in front of a packed German crowd. We have the quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the final all to come for you tonight. Entertainment guaranteed on the PDC European Tour. Always get entertainment with Peter Snakebite Wright. The German crowd absolutely love this man. He's already produced some stunning darts this weekend, but so has James Richardson, his opponent, who knocked out the two-time world champion Adrian Lewis in the last 16. The winner of this goes through to our first semi-final of the night. We face either Michael Smith or Ian White. The other half of the draw sees Joe Cullen and Gary Anderson and Chris Dobie, the surprise package of the weekend, against the world #1 Michael van Gerwen in £25,000 up for grabs to the winner as well as the title, and a whole host of good things that follow from winning these European Tour events. I'm Dan Dawson in the commentary box for the opening game of the final session, and Rod Harrington is alongside.
Yes, good evening,
ladies and gentlemen. First leg, James.
Looking forward to
first.
an exceptional evening in the darts. We've got a mixture of, players that we expected to be there and players that are good enough to be there and finally done it, as in James Richardson. I mean, his match against Adrian Lewis was as good as we see for a good while, because Adrian Lewis threw everything at him. I mean, he did play well, but James just knuckled in there. And that's what he's got to do with Peter Wright. We know Peter Wright's a class act. I mean, that 124 that he took out to make it 5-all was right up there with any checkout you'll ever hit.
Yeah, that was against Cristo Reyes earlier on this afternoon. He was in all kinds of problems against Reyes. Both of these guys have played pretty solidly over the course of this weekend. James Richardson's been averaging in the low to mid-90s, but when he's been given an opportunity, most of the time he's taken it, and there's been a few of these along the way as well. First maximum of the final session.
Yeah, sometimes averages don't tell the story, because, when you lose a leg, if you want 300, it doesn't really matter. It's those winning legs that if you've got a high average on them, then you're going to win the match.
100.
It's a pretty steady start to this one from James Richardson, down to a finish after 4 visits to the board. Peter Wright looking to put a big dent in this.
Well, certainly Richardson's not going to be scared of Peter Wright, is he? After beating Adrian Lewis, you'd be on a massive high. Oh, and that doesn't help.
We beat Terry Jenkins in the second round as well, so it's turning into a very, very good weekend for James Richardson. It already is a good weekend for him.
There's little mistakes like that could cost him. If Peter Wright doesn't take this out, and James will only get 1 dart, possibly at a double, and he misses that where he should have been having 2. But that 1 missed double one, it is right on the double 18. Well, he's going to come back now, James Richardson. And another big number missed. So the darts are the bullseye and not the tops.
28.
Yeah, and just the odd dart here and there can prove to be the difference between winning and losing a leg. Now the double 9, Peter Wright, it's not his favourite double by any stretch of the imagination, but that is some help to him. And the crowd roar their approval. Peter Wright gets a break of throw and goes into the lead 1-0. James Richardson has found himself in the quarterfinals of a European Tour event before. It was actually the very first one we did in 2012 in its current incarnation of the European Tour in Austria. But that is the last time he's made a quarter-final of a PDC ranking event. Last year he didn't even have a tour card. He had to win it back at Q School this year. But in that run in Austria, in Vienna it was, in 2012, he beat Peter Wright.
40.
However, we have to say Peter Wright's a different player now than he was then.
He certainly is. In fact, James Richardson leads the head-to-head statistics. He's won 2 and lost 1, but the most recent one was 2013, and that was won by Peter Wright. So Peter Wright has turned into an elite-level dart player over the last 4 years or so, and that is one of the reasons why.
And as you move forward into the latter stages of the tournament, I say that, Richardson backs up the 180. The mistakes that you make are going to be more and more emphasised by your opponent. And that first leg, you know, James should have won that first leg, but only had a dart bullseye. 6 darts from 106 and 1 dart at the ball. Those sort of mistakes are going to cost him the match.
Now another dart out.
56.
The bullseye, and it's not to be for James Richardson. Closer than last time. Can Peter Wright punish him here? It was a great response to being broken in the opening leg, to be on a potential 11-darter, but it'll mean nothing if Wright goes out on 91. And he's going to get a dart. It's his choice of double. It's going to be double 16 for 2-0.
85. James required 25.
Well, he's got a chance to get the throw back here as James. A big 9, double 8. Now take these chances.
21.
They're the ones he wasn't really missing in the games against Terry Jenkins and Adrian Lewis.
You're exactly right.
And he is punished. And Peter Wright, it's not been a dominant early display from the world number 5, but it's been good enough to get a 2-leg lead.
97.
Yes, like you say, against Terry Jenkins and Adrian Lewis, he didn't make... It's hard to say they're mistakes. They're just little errors that Peter Wright has absolutely jumped on, and James Richardson should be 2-0 up here and not 2-0 down.
Well, the roar from James Richardson will tell you that he's not going to give up here. It's third 180.
No, he certainly won't give up. That's not in his makeup. And his throw's good enough from that's 2 180s back-to-back in the last 2 legs. And Richardson's throw's a sort of throw that won't break down too much under pressure either.
Trudge back to the back of the stage for James Richardson. It's less like a dart player and more like a character of a dart player played by Tim Spall. 124 he's looking at. Another 14s. And again, doesn't even bother with the treble. And finally, at the third time of asking, he hits the bullseye.
Full flag pick of the throw first. Game on.
Well, in this top half, as we said, Michael Smith takes on Yelly Klassen, and just bring you up to date, if you heard me talk about Michael Smith's fish that was a bit poorly, they had to take out the fish pond. He's actually dead.
Oh, sad times.
I can't believe it.
60.
Now Michael Smith up next, taking on Ian White in the quarter-finals here.
Yes, I said Yelly Klassen.
You did? I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just losing it.
135.
It is Ian White.
I can understand you were probably still dealing with the grief from Michael Smith's toy car.
Yeah, it changed colour before it died, by the way.
140.
It's probably why it died.
Well, maybe if he wins the German Darts Masters, his 4th European Tour event, he'll dedicate it to our sadly departed Piscine friend.
43.
It's the 43, but he's got a healthy lead in this leg, Peter Wright. But that's being whittled away. That's being whittled away. That's been completely surpassed. And James Richardson, a 4th one. He's hitting one every leg.
Well, this is a good response from Wright. Well, he's taken out the 1-2-4 in the previous leg. Here's the treble 17. Oof.
79.
Well, he is right there with Peter Wright. He could have won the first 2 legs, James Richardson. He did win the 3rd. Which way is the 4th going to go? It's going to go to Peter Wright.
Right in the bottom corner as well. I can assure you that's an inch away from where Peter was actually aiming. It doesn't matter. They all count, the top or the bottom.
Oh, word, James Richardson.
140.
It would have been his 5th 180 in 5 legs. We saw Chris Dobie, who's probably been the best player this weekend, really, over the course of the tournament so far. Hit 7 180s this afternoon in knocking out Dave Chisnell.
81.
Just the ton. Looks good. Looks very good. And James Richardson on a potential 11-darter.
And he does sound up for it as well, doesn't he? Right in there.
And another response. Once again, we see a 180 followed by a 180 from the opponent.
It's the third time.
Richardson, 6-leg pin to the front first.
Well, both players over the 100. Wright just over the 100, but James Richardson 105.5. Unless we've missed doubles in the first two legs.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Nearly 107, and that first 9 average is unreal. It's going up. James Richardson just bank on him hitting a 180 every leg.
No, we're only in leg 6, and is that 9 180s?
9 180s between the pair of them.
That's incredible.
6 to James Richardson. And it looked, I mean, Chris Dobie hit 7 in 10 legs against Dave Chisholm. We went, wow, that was impressive. At this rate, James Richardson's going to surpass that.
Well, Darryl Gurney had 9, didn't he?
Yeah,
which is the record at the moment. And there we have it, James Richardson. Well, if he carries on like this, then that 9 could be surpassed. But the front 9 average and overall average, absolutely excellent. If that had been Michael van Gerwen, we'd be going, how great Michael van Gerwen's playing. Well, how great is James Richardson playing?
Yeah. Well, he's got down to a 2-dart finish. 11-darter in the last leg. He is going to get a chance to follow it up. And if he does, he'll level the game at 3 apiece and be throwing to go into the lead for the first time. Oh, still can be done. Needs treble 19. Doesn't get it.
And I do like that last dart of Peter Wright. That's thinking for you. Playing percentages, as I talk about a lot, Dan. He's going to come back with 2 darts and a double instead of the possible 1. Makes a big difference in a crucial situation like this. 2 legs clear or level.
And that extra dart meant that he got to go at that double 10. And it puts him 4-2 up. And despite James Richardson throwing the kitchen sink at him, is it another? Oh! Despite that, Peter Wright has kept his cool and gone about his business. He is throwing some very good darts himself. It's meant that he's been able to keep a hold of this lead.
131.
Well, there we have the stats, the first leg and the second. Richardson has already had darts at a double. But since then, the players have held on to their throw, and Richardson 12-11 have literally unbeatable that. With the 2 level 15s from Peter Wright.
83.
Well, back in 2011, James Richardson did actually make his 1 appearance in a final of a PDC ranking event. He ended up being beaten by Colin Osborne in the final of that. So he does have talent, as he's evidencing here. It wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing in the world to say that James Richardson goes on a run here and finds himself in the final. If he plays like this, he's got a very good chance.
He certainly has, and I think, you know, as I keep telling players, you know, if things are going bad, change something. And I think that his son Josh starting to play and being at a great standard himself has spurred his father on. Perhaps Josh is going to be on 20% of the wins.
Josh, the BDO World Youth Champion, Junior Darts Corporation champion as well, and a hot prospect, teenage player. Not sure who's the better player, to be honest, at the moment between these two. Right now, James Richardson, you have to say, but Peter Wright looking for a 5-2 lead. Double 16, misses inside. This is a big one.
Oh, and he throw that last dart away. If he comes back to the board, Again, he's cost himself $1 double. Not that the way Wright's playing, he's going to get back to the board. It's a pretty solid, typical Peter Wright game, isn't it?
It's just so hard to beat nowadays. That's
hard.
the thing. Stephen Bunting looked like he had him where he wanted him. Wright won it 6-4. Cristo Reyes looked like he had him where he wanted him. Peter Wright won it 6-5. James Richardson, if you told him that, 8 legs through, or 6 legs through this game, he'd be averaging 107 and he'd have hit 6 180s by this point, he'd take and bite your hand off, wouldn't he?
Well, he'd have been thinking that he would have won the game 6-0.
Yeah. But Peter Wright just finds ways of winning games. And he's 5-2 up here.
That's why, I've said it a lot, Dan. Definitely he's got a major win in him as Peter Wright. He's got the game, he's got the bottle as well. And that bottle of taking out crucial shots. Great darts at crucial times in legs. He seems to have the knack of doing it. Well, the ability, not the knack.
Well, I think it's pretty certain he would have a big TV title to his name, were it not for a young, bald Dutch fella who's beaten him in all 4 finals he's made. Shaking their head from James Richardson. This might be his run coming to an end here. What a weekend it has been for him, you've got to say. And what a performance he's put in.
Well, this will give him great confidence, won't it? Playing like he has done this weekend.
Yeah, it's been superb from James Richardson this weekend. Saw off Andrew Gilding, saw off Terry Jenkins and saw off Adrian Lewis, and he only dropped 6 legs in those 3 games. He's gone and thrown 6 180s against the world number 5 and had him seriously worried. But Peter Wright has found a way to win this match and win it very, very impressively. An average just under 102 for Snakebite. He is our first man through to the semi-finals. He is going to face either the 3-time European Tour winner Michael Smith or Ian the Diamond White, a former finalist at the German Darts Masters. That was back in 2012. And of course, Ian White playing some excellent darts already this weekend. Snakebite through. We'll find out who he faces in just a few moments' time. We'll probably grab a quick couple of words with him and our MC Timo Gatz.
Peter Wright! Peter, congratulations. Was a great game. 6-2. That always sounds like it was an easy one, but I guess it wasn't easy at all.
How many 180s did he get? Oh my God. No, it wasn't an easy game. Obviously, he's a great player. Beat Adrian Lewis. You've got to be a fantastic player to beat Adrian Lewis, so hard to respect him, get on the practice board and practice really hard. But these guys, again, singing for me, which inspire me and make me play well. Thank you.
Also er bedankt sich natürlich bei euch, dass ihr ihn so lautstark wieder ein weiteres Mal unterstützt. Und er sagt über James Richardson, das war alles andere als einfach. Er hat unglaublich viele 81 geworfen. Er hat unglaublich viele 81 geworfen, deswegen war es alles andere als eine leichte Partie für ihn. Peter, you say the crowd is supporting you a lot, and they really do. Do you actually understand what they're singing when they say, du hast die Haare schön?
I have beautiful hair.
Er versteht es. Also weiter mit diesen Fangesängen. Er versteht jedes Wort. Thank you again, Peter. See you later. Thank you very much. Peter Wright.